So somebody was asking me, like, have I ever considered, because I've done acting for many years, have I ever considered doing some acting on the Getting Readies? Which is a very interesting question, because in my books I discuss how oftentimes I've had to act my way out of life or through life situations, because to me life is a movie, and sometimes it's a good movie and sometimes it's not so good. But you know, because some of my friends are like, oh, you were acting there, you were so acting, I know you, oh my gosh. And I'm like, you know, yeah, so maybe, because I'm not a usually vicious person. And somebody was like, in the Getting Ready episode 8, when I was discussing the lovely queen who tried to tip me a bag of chips, which is actually one of the more memorable moments on my little show here, that oh, you could never say something like that about another person, you're too sweet and all that. And I'm like, well, honey, let me tell you, yes, I could. But yes, it does take a fair amount of acting anyway. Any of us who get up, you know, in front of a camera and broadcast to the world, as they say, via YouTube or any other thing, my acting chops are always being used, as well as all of ours. I mean, do you act the same way at work than you do at home? Do you say the same things or same type of things to your fellow workers as you would to the people you live with? Some of us may. I usually do. But a lot of people don't. Because I look at people at work and I'm thinking, I wonder if they act like this at home. And sometimes I think, I hope not. And sometimes I wonder how lonely some people are, since they're so accusatory of me being as such. And I imagine, you know, back in my childhood, I used to fake it a lot of times, because I was wondering when I was going to get my next beat down, either from someone at home or someone on the school bus. So yes, we all act. It is a part of life. It is a way and a means and a venue to get through the day. Acting has been my life savior, and a lot of times I can act like I'm happy. I can act like I'm sad. Usually when I'm acting like I'm sad, I'm actually really sad. But a lot of times when I'm acting like I'm happy, I'm really not happy at all. Pretty miserable, actually. I do anger very well. I think I have so much pent-up rage in me that if I didn't act it out every now and then, I would probably be really and truly a crazy person. So, I say all that to say, when in doubt, act. Act. I'm thinking about doing a little acting now. I think back on that Getting Ready episode 8 and that incident, which probably was minuscule to a lot of different people for different reasons. What may not be a big deal to you may be a big deal to somebody else. You don't know where, like I said, you don't know where people come from. You don't know where, just like I don't know where your hatred and your bullshit comes from, you don't know where my feelings and my hurt come from. So, for you to say some off-color thing to me based on nothing. Because that's where you are. That's what you're all about. You're all about nothing and rhetoric and bullshit. And I know sometimes we have to consider the source. And sometimes that, to me, is just an excuse to get you off the hook. Well, you're not going to get off the hook. It's not okay for you to talk about people. It's not okay for you to say your racist, off-color jokes. And this is why you've pretty much been ran out of the club and out of town. And nobody feels sorry for you. It's been bliss. It's been bliss and wonderful since you haven't been around. And it's a wonderful thing for people like me. Because usually it's the other way around. Usually it's people like me who have to run and hide. Who have to feel ashamed. Because why? Because I'm fat? Because I'm good at what I do? Because I know how to entertain people without having to be a bitch? I don't have to be an ass. I don't have to say racist jokes. Oh my God, to get a laugh? Are you kidding me? I actually can go on stage and do a number and be wonderful and people enjoy me and tip me and want to buy me a cocktail and want to be my friend based on my talents alone and not on like, oh God, maybe I should be nice to this person because they might talk about me on stage. I mean, I'm a professional and people freaking get it. Oh my God, I can't believe this. I just can't believe this. Can you believe this, Miss B? Can you believe this? I'm here to tell you people, it is a wonderful thing to be able to release this, to let it go, because it has bothered me since then. And now talking about it, now acting it out, and maybe I'm being a bitch myself. Who knows? I don't know. I think it's a wonderful thing, though. Yeah, you know, she hasn't been at the bar. No, they ran her right out of there. She pissed one too many people off. It wasn't me. I'm sure that was in the back of their mind, but no. No, there's only so much people will take. And when it involves customers and patrons and people who want to come and see people perform and have a good time, that stuff went back out in the 80s, baby. In the 80s. That was like 20 years ago. I was in friggin' high school, man. Okay? So you are old and late and tired and need to retire. Well, that's pretty much what we did. So now I celebrate it. Now I can move on and I can enjoy doing what I do. I can go into this contest with that big yellow gown and I can maybe feel a little more confident about everything and not worry about my size and just have my show together and have my act together and do it right and be able to just be me without having to worry about the rhetoric. Thank you for listening to me and thank you for being my friend. Dziękuję.